There is one mistake that is sabotaging your manifestations. A mistake so subtle, so invisible, that you are probably making it right now without even noticing. And the worst part, the more you try, the more you reinforce this mistake. Neville Goddard discovered this by observing thousands of people. He noticed a pattern that repeated endlessly. People who did everything right in theory, yet remained stuck in the same reality. They visualized, they felt the emotions, they did the techniques perfectly. But something was wrong. And when Neville finally identified what it was, everything made sense. It wasn't the technique that failed. It wasn't a lack of faith. It wasn't the universe resisting. It was something happening in the other 23 hours of the day, something these people didn't even realize they were doing. And today, 99% of people who study Neville are still making exactly the same mistake. Stay with me, because in a few minutes, you'll understand why your visualizations aren't materializing. And more importantly, you'll discover what you must do differently starting today. Because once you understand this, once you really get this insight, everything changes in an instant. So, what is the mistake? Let me ask you a question first. What do you do after you finish your visualization? Think carefully. You close your eyes, you visualize perfectly, you feel the emotions, you even get chills. And then you open your eyes. And what happens in the next minutes, in the next hours? If you're like 99% of people, this happens. You look around and notice that nothing has changed yet. Then comes the thought, did it work? You check your phone, look at your bank account, see if someone called you. During the day, you feel that anxiety in your chest, that worry. What if it doesn't work? How will it happen? When will it happen? At night, you're tired of waiting, of trying, of wanting so much. Do you see what's happening? You're treating visualization like a 10-minute ritual, and you're spending the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of the day living as the person who still does not have what they desire. And that's exactly where the deadly mistake is, because here is the truth Neville tried to teach us his whole life. It doesn't matter how perfect your visualization is if you go back to being the same person right after. Neville was brutal about this. In The Power of Awareness, there is a passage that should be on the wall of everyone who studies the law of assumption. He says, "A change of consciousness is a change of destiny, but this change must be sustained. It is not enough to briefly touch a new state of consciousness during a meditation or visualization. You must learn to habitate in it, to live from it, to make it your permanent dwelling. The state you occupy most consistently is the state that materializes in your three-dimensional experience." Let that sink in for a second. The state you occupy most consistently. It's not the state you visit for 10 minutes before sleep. It's the state where you live. And here's the problem. Most people are visiting the wish fulfilled, but living in lack. They travel as tourists to the "I already have it" state, but they live full-time in the "I don't have it yet" state. The insight that changes everything. In Feeling is the Secret, Neville goes even more surgical. Assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. The technique of creation lies not in the visualization itself, but in the ability to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and remain faithful to that assumption. You must live in the end, not in the middle, not in the hope, not on the way, but in the end. Do you see the brutal difference? It's not about visualizing the desire. It's about living as if the desire were already a done deal. And that completely changes how you move through your day. The truth test. Neville proposed a simple test. If someone asks you in the middle of the day, without warning, about what you're manifesting, what would your automatic reaction be? Would it be hope? Oh, I'm working on it. Would it be desperation? I need this so badly. Would it be anxiety? I hope it works soon. Or would it be naturalness, as if someone asked whether you have arms and you simply confirmed because it's obvious? The person who is truly living in the wish fulfilled doesn't hope. They have calm certainty. They are not waiting. They already are. So, how do you change this? How do you stop visiting the wish fulfilled and start living in it? First shift. Understand that there is no after the visualization. Visualization is not a task you check off. It's not an exercise you do and that's it. It is a portal that transports you to a new state of being. And here's what most people don't understand. When you enter that state during the visualization, when you feel that you already have it, when you become that person for a few minutes, you are not pretending. You are accessing a version of you that already exists. And the deadly mistake happens when you open your eyes and think, okay, I finished my visualization, now back to real life. No, that was the real life. That state was the real you. What you call real life, the worry, the anxiety, the lack, that is the illusion you're supposed to abandon. So when you come out of your visualization, the question is not, now what do I do? The question is, am I going to continue being this person? Or am I going to betray who I just became? Because every doubt after visualizing is an act of betrayal. Every moment of anxiety is you saying, actually, that wasn't real. Visualization shows you who you are. The rest of the day is you proving whether you believe it or not. Second shift, monitor your thoughts all day long. Neville was obsessed with this. In The Law and the Promise, he's clear. Your automatic thoughts, your unmonitored mental conversations, these are your true prayers. These casual inner dialogues reveal the state you truly occupy. And it is that state that materializes, not your occasional visualizations. So pay attention. In traffic, at work, before sleeping, what is the dialogue in your mind? Is it the dialogue of someone who already has it? Or someone who is still trying to have it? Third shift, stop checking. This is the one that sabotages people the most and the hardest to drop. Every time you check whether it worked, every time you look at circumstances to confirm your manifestation, you are sending a powerful declaration to the universe. I don't have it yet. That's why I need to check. It's like being married and waking up every day asking, am I still married? Let me check. If you need to verify it, you're not living from that state. You're living in doubt. Neville was surgical about this in Seedtime and Harvest. Unwavering confidence in the invisible reality of your already fulfilled desire is essential. When you ask, where is it? When will it come? How will it happen? You are confessing that you do not yet possess it in consciousness. The state of having does not question. It does not investigate. It does not seek evidence. It simply knows. And this silent knowing, this assumption undisturbed by doubt or the need for external confirmation, is the very substance from which physical reality emerges. Do you see the depth of that? The act of looking for evidence is the evidence that you are not in the state. Think about something you already have. Anything, your house, your name, your dog. You don't wake up thinking, do I still have this? Let me check. No, you simply know. There is no anxiety, no need for confirmation, no, I hope it's still there. There is only silent, calm certainty. That is the wish-fulfilled state. So when you feel that itch to check your email, to see if someone replied, to check your bank account, to look for signs, stop, breathe, and ask, would the person who already has this be looking for confirmation? The answer is always no. And every time you resist that urge to check, you strengthen the state. You prove to yourself that you actually believe it is already yours. So here is what 99% of people do wrong. They treat manifestation as something they do for 10 minutes, when in reality, it should be something they are for 24 hours. Visualization is not the work. Visualization is only the beginning. The real work is the choice you make every second: return to who you were or continue being who you decided to become. As Neville said countless times, it is not the occasional prayer that is heard. It is the permanent attitude. You don't need longer visualizations. You need deeper commitment to the state. Most people will watch this video, feel the impact of the truth, and tomorrow go back to making the same mistake. But you won't be that person, because now you know the problem was never the technique. It was the state you chose to occupy afterwards. If this video shifted something in you, subscribe to the channel, because I will keep bringing Neville's teachings the way they need to be told, without fluff, straight to the point that truly transforms. And tell me in the comments, what is the one state you are going to sustain today, no matter what circumstances show?